Alright, I updated the video on my list and now I'm going to show you how to integrate with these buttons here, Twitter, Facebook, MySpace. So if you go into the dashboard, which is here on your landing page, and you go down to your account details section, you can see here your Twitter ID, your Flickr ID, Facebook ID. So I'm going to show you how to do those. Now, just to show you, if I don't, for example, put in a MySpace ID and I save that, what should happen here is if I refresh this, I now don't have the MySpace ID showing there. So let's go and remove Facebook, for example. Whoops, wrong one. So take out the Facebook ID, hit save, and once again you can see now we're down to just Twitter. So I'm going to show you how to find Twitter ID. Is pretty straightforward. The one that's a little tricky is Facebook, so let me show you how to do that. So if you've got a Facebook profile, as I do, if you go to your profile page, you can see I clicked on my profile page, and go look in the address bar up top here. You can see it says ID 708 blah blah blah. So right before the and ref equals profile, so the profile ID is that number. So if I take that number and I go and put it into my Facebook ID and hit save, then when I'm on the front page, just refresh this, what's going to happen here is that we're going to have the Facebook ID, and when I click that, it opens a new window and takes me to my Facebook profile. So obviously yours would look a little more rock and roll than this one does, but nonetheless, that's how the system works. So as I said, Facebook was the tricky one. I think MySpace and Flickr and the Twitter ID are all pretty straightforward. The last one that I want to show you is Google Analytics. Now, if you don't know Google Analytics, you simply go to google.com/analytics. I'll just lower this a little so you can see my address bar. Google Analytics. And if you don't have a Google account, you need one. Basically, set up Analytics and add your website. As I said, sign up with a Google account. It's a free service from Google. So here you can see Band Excel's website. And if I click on View Report, it'll tell me how many people have visited. As you can see, not that many yet. But this is what gives you statistics for your website. So I highly recommend that you go and sign up. It's absolutely free. And when you've got your sign up, so let's go back to my settings here. Now if I go into the edit mode on this, you can see that this is receiving data. Now if I go into the edit mode, sorry, so in the main screen mode here you can see UA. This is your analytics ID for that website, so that's what you would paste into here under analytics key, is just paste in your key for that website and hit save, and then that'll start tracking your website. So when you went in to set it up, you either started a new account as your subdomain or as your main domain, and you might want to set them up separately to track which ones are getting more traffic.